The next part of the data science, that is the temperature control lab. How to design the PID using machine learning. This is an important concept, and the first part of the video explained about how to create a PID dataset. Now we are going to see the next part, that is the how to build an LSTM model out of the dataset which you have created. So the objective of this video, this is a part 2 video, will be how to create a model that aims to predict the output variable Q1, and based on the historical data T1 and set point and set point error. As you can see on the screen, the TSP is what is the temperature set point, T1 is what is coming back as the temperature T1, and error is the difference between these two. Q1 is the power generated. You can think like that. And now, in the theory, LSTM is a kind of recurrent neural network only. And you can see in the diagram there is a feedback, time-stamped feedbacks involved to create such a network. And this is an advanced form of RNN only, where the vanishing gradient problem had disappeared in LSTM. The first part is the feature selection, and then data scaling and sliding window approach. These are employed to prepare the data for training LSTM model. We will be going through these processes of feature selection, data scaling, and sliding window. The script utilizes also early stopping to prevent overfitting during the training. LSTM, as we discussed in some of the earlier videos, also you can see for the LSTM in detail other videos, but here the LSTM, how to use it for time series PID related stuff. So just give an overview. It has got a forget gate, an input gate, and an output gate. These are the three parts. They control the flow of information in and out of the memory cell. The first gate is called the forget gate, the second gate is known as the input gate, and the last gate is the output gate. Now, to build an LSTM PID model, that is very specific knowledge than normal LSTM knowledge. It involves data loading. That means whatever in the last video 1 we had created a CSV file. It's called dataset, PID dataset. Now the feature selection comes into picture. It uses F regression actually to select the features. For any machine learning model, you know that the features are the most important thing. The features decide the output. Now the data pre-processing is required in any LSTM, and the time series preparation, in the earlier videos we have talked about how to create sequences and create a series of rows, a large number of rows, to create sequences. Then you do a train test split of the data. There will be 80-20 ratio. Then you make an LSTM model and train that, and you save that model into a format called H5 format, which will be the end of this video. And once if the H5 format file is created, that is nothing but a standalone model. It can be used for model evaluation later. So feature selection, as I talked about, you can read through all these later, but the last part of the code, you can see that X is equal to data frame of T1, TSP, T error, and Y is in the Q1. This is actually to optimize the predictive modeling process by strategically choosing the features. So it used pandas data frame DF. Subsequently, the input features like T1, TSP, and ERR. These are the potential input features, and Q1 is the output. Now there is a library called scikit-learn. This is a select k-bus class that is employed for a feature selection. It's using the this particular library. F regression scrolling method is used in this. When you say k is equal to all, the algorithm considers all the features, not only selected features, all the features. You can see the code, best features is equal to k is equal to all, to select all the features, and the fit method will be subsequently applied to calculate the F scores. First there will be a fit method which will calculate the F scores, and based on that prediction, we like to see which contributes the most significantly to the variation in the target variable. Now, as you can see on the screen, the first part is the load possible features using the pandas data frame, T1, TSP, TR, etc. And the select k-bus feature, as I discussed, scikit-learn library is used for the feature selection. So these are the lines. At the end, actually, you get the features X based on the selected ones. The originally selected features, that is T1, TSP, R, are replaced now in this by the newly chosen features TSP and R. Now this will be subsequently used for data scaling, time series preparation, and model training. So you can see the Python script for all this, and scaling data, the select k-bus feature selection, etc. The final output looks like that, and it will be, as we explained, there will be a large number of rows which consists of columns Q1, T1, TSP, and ER. So the data processing, how it is done, this is one of the crucial steps in machine learning that involves cleaning and transforming raw data into a format suitable for training and evaluating a predictive model. So you can see the code here below, and from here you can know a bit about feature scaling. Feature scaling is performed using the min-max scaling method, and the input features S_X is an instance created and applied to transform the data. The scaled input data is stored ultimately in XS, and target variable is Y. Now, the script you can see below. The first step in sequencing is to create a window, which we explained earlier. Window is a group of past historical number of data, and for this you can see the window is selected as 15, and so the LSTM model will use the previous 15 values of TSP and R to predict the next value, and it will create sequences X-LSTM and Y-LSTM according to a code actually. Now the next step is to train test split selection. That means 80-20 ratio, you split the data. Some are kept for the testing, majority are used for the training. So as we explained earlier, there is some reshaping process in which you create these two sequences, and after that there is a function which returns 4 sets of data: X train, X test, Y train, and Y test. X train and Y train represent the input and output sequences for the training, X test and Y test, input and output sequences for testing, etc. Now, all these, pages in this video, you can stop and watch even later. The content is like you are now adding LSTM layers. There are 2 layers in this, and each are having 100 units. 100 units means 100 neurons. You have a dense layer, and this is responsible for producing the final prediction. Then you have to compile this like we discussed earlier also. So then you come out with a ADAM optimizer and come out with a minimum in MSE, mean squared error. So this is how it looks like. The initializing LSTM model, the script looks like that. Then you are adding the neurons like this. Unit is equal to 100, etc., etc. Now you are trying to create a model by compiling using the optimizer ADAM, and all these lines you can go through later. Here result is equal to model.fit train data you are giving into this X train and Y train, and batch size is equal to 100. You are having an epochs of 300 times. After executing all these, you can see a series of lines. You can stop the video and see it later. Finally, it will give you a PNG file which is showing the effective loss after compile. And this is the last line, the most important line. The model is now saved into an H5 file. This is a standalone model, and which can be used by external programs for using this model. So earlier, the first video we were talking about is creating a CSV file. Now we've created a H5 file. So now ultimately you can plot the loss curves in a PNG file to visualize this. So this is during the training, like in the earlier video, any machine learning training, you can visualize the losses, and as I said before, the ultimate aim of this video was to create a PID underscore train underscore data underscore KC6 under TOI 75 H5 file. Remember, this H5 is a PI model which we have created for a specific P and I values. And when you really plot it, you will see that the curve will look like that. The red one will be the T1 and QPID and QLSTM. Everything can be seen here, and this will be explained more in detail in the next video. Look for more and more videos how to now test this model, how to use this model, and program etc. is given in the description.